This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Yeah, well, Christian would announce that his team would be made up of AJ Styles, Scott Steiner, Abyss, and Tomko. Are you excited about this match, Kurt, at this point?
Oh, yeah, this was a good group of guys. They're all very talented. I was really excited to work against these guys.
Yeah, well, hey, your team's not too shabby either. I mean, you got Samoa Joe, Rhino, Sting, and of course, a mystery partner. The mystery partner would end up being Double J, Jeff Jarrett, returning to air as a character. Man, that's a hell of a team, though, dude. I mean, you're loaded on your side.
Oh, yeah, we had a lot of Hall of Famers, man. Possibly a future Hall of Famer with Samoa Joe, but yeah, we had a good team, really good team, Hall of Fame team.
Oh, you were stacked, and Sting still doing it in the ring.
It's incredible.
Isn't it insane? Well, there you go. So there's a storyline for a couple of weeks where Tomko is going back and forth on what team he's going to be on, and it's finally announced that you'll take on Abyss to determine what team Tomko will be on. You defeat Abyss, and Tomko comes in and swerves you and still ends up joining Christian's team. Does this do anything for anybody here? Well, what's the point?
No. You know, when you have a program like that, a match where the person has to decide which team he's going to be on, and I'm wrestling Abyss to see which team he's going to be on. If I win, Tomko comes to my side. If Abyss wins, Tomko goes to his side. That's the way it should be. It should be very simple and plain, but they made that very complicated. And you don't want to, you know, when you do something like this, you want to follow through with it.
That's right.
You know, so Tomko should have been on my team. Basically, we did it for nothing. I mean, this little program here was all for nothing.
Hey, wrestling fans, we don't do well with complicated, all right? I mean, you know,
I don't either.
Yeah. None of us do. Come on, damn it. Well, they decided to take that road. Let's talk about Tomko while we're here, Kurt. What did you think about him? He had an awesome look, but it just never kind of all came together for him. What was missing, in your opinion, with him?
Me personally, I think that he was always somebody's muscle. He never spawned off into a singles career entirely. He was like Christian's assistant or Christian's muscle. He was always part of factions. He never went off on his own. And if he would have worked on his promo skills a little bit, I think he would have thrived as a wrestler.
Nah, it makes sense. You're right. Absolutely. He never kind of was given that, given the opportunity, if you will, to try to stand out on his own and do something. So it would have been interesting. Would have been fun to see what he could have done if he would have been given that rope. So, Kurt, around this time, it's WrestleMania 23, and we got to talk a little bit about that. It's the battle of the billionaires between Vince and Donald Trump, and Bobby Lashley and Umaga represent Vince, and Trump has Cena with Vince and Trump, and then we also got Cena versus Shawn versus Batista and Undertaker, and that's the main event. Knowing what you know now, do you think you would have been a big part of the Mania card had you would have stayed with WWE?
I believe so. I was on fire at this point in my career. WrestleMania 19, I main evented. I co-main evented WrestleMania 20. I was a huge feature match in WrestleMania 21 with Shawn Michaels, and I co-main evented WrestleMania 22. I believe in my mind, I would have main evented WrestleMania 23 too. I was in the prime of my career, and I was the best wrestler in that company.
And as we touched on last week's show, you pretty much dominated WrestleMania 34 with Ronda Rousey. So you were still
Yes,
getting
I
shit
did.
done all those years later.
Ronda dominated. I was with
You
her.
were a part of it, Kurt. You were a part of it. Well, with 2 weeks to go in the build, Jim Cornette, that's right, he announces whoever gets the winning pinfall in the match gets a title shot against Christian for the next pay-per-view at Sacrifice. Does this make much sense in terms of Christian having this team?
No, you know what? What was the incentive for his team? They couldn't get a pinfall on Christian to get a world title shot. My team had the opportunity to get a title shot. Whoever got the pinfall on my team would face Christian at the next pay-per-view for the world title. But Christian's team, they had no incentive. So it really didn't make sense why we did this. If anything, it should have been, a match. I don't know, maybe 3 different matches.
Yeah.
Something different. But
Yeah.
not having incentive to do it and going into the pay-per-view and just saying, you know what, I'm going to try to protect Christian because I'm on his team. I'm going to make sure nobody gets a pinfall on him. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Not sure what's going on with the writing here during this time, but the story is closed out on the go home Impact when Joe and Rhino question you on who is the fifth member that you won't reveal. Joe showed his distrust in you, saying he didn't believe you, and maybe you're working with Christian's team to help get yourself a title shot, Kurt. The creative is pretty smart considering you and Joe at this point haven't exactly seen eye to eye on things. Are you working with the stories? Are you helping craft all this, Kurt, at all? Are they tapping you on the shoulder? Hey, Kurt, what do you think of this?
Not really. That, they came up with this, and I thought it was brilliant because
Okay.
Samoa Joe and I, we weren't seeing eye to eye, and we had an incredible program together, and they were trying to keep our options open in the future. So Joe and I were still at odds with each other, even though we were on the same team. But I like this little program, keeping it alive,
Yeah.
and the possibility of wrestling Samoa Joe again. I would absolutely love that.
And as fans, we're always down for Angle Samoa Joe around this time. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. Always classics. Well,
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.